Um, Somebody's logging off. I forget her name. Because her video is freezing, so it's not coming in as clear as need be.
Her name is Anisa.
Anisa, no, the other one. Nashiru's wife.
Oh, Aisha too.
Aisha.
Well, should we start now?
No, I think Aisha is the one that will be doing the recording. And
it says it's recording.
It does.
Could you tell her that we see that it is recording?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Peace be unto you all. Thank you for joining. I'm going to follow up on the questions that were left from last time. And I have a whole lot of questions in my inbox here. First question is it permissible to talk, touch, or play with your fiancé on the phone or in person before marriage? Well, talking is no problem. You should be talking. And we spoke about the subjects we need to focus on during the period of engagement. So this should be clear. So talking is not a problem. But the issue is, what are you saying? Because as a fiancé, you need to be careful not to speak things that are out of line with somebody who is not actually your husband yet. We know that a married person can talk about anything with their husband or their wife, but not their fiancé. So talking within the norm, observing that this person is a stranger for you, talking is okay. Which means if a person is telling his fiancé, I want to see you, but I don't want you to tell your family, I want to meet you in my place, or I want to see you in that private place, or we can go for a trip for a couple of days. Even though this is talk, but it is a talk of conspiracy to do something that is not expected to be good. So while talking is okay between a fiancé and fiancée, but it is not okay if the talk gets into a prohibited area. Likewise, video, chatting on the phone. Yes, you can chat on the phone with your fiancé, right? But if it is a video call and he asks you to remove your hijab or show me this or show me that, then it is talk, but it is prohibited because he's not your husband and he doesn't have the right to see from you other than your face and your hands if need be. So the question seems to be too general and it forces me to go into exceptions and specifics so that we can set the limits right, okay? So you can talk. Can we touch? No, you cannot touch your fiancé no matter what. Because touching is an approach for something deeper. We all know that as adults, right? Why would somebody want to touch someone? Is he testing her temperature or what? It just doesn't make any sense. So touching is only after marriage. After you sign the contract, you are his wife, he is your husband. You can touch all you want. And I hope that you continue to touch and continue to live in peace. But we should never look for doing things before marriage that are only allowed after marriage and as the result of the marriage contract. Let us move on. Or play, of course, but what do you want to play is also another issue. Is it a computer game? Is it chess? Is it check cards? What exactly? So to play with him or to play with her is okay, but you should not be meeting with her in person without the supervision of her guardian or father or the brother, uncle, so on and so forth. So you should not be in a place together without her family. Her family has to be there. Her male relatives who matter in this kind of situation must be present so that privacy does not produce something undesirable. Okay, so you can play, okay, on the phone. Yes, if it is, again, something that you would do in front of her family, if she doesn't have to hide the phone or the computer from her family. If you could do it in public, then yes. But if it is something you could not do in public, don't do it. Okay, I hope that answers this question. The following question is, what is the permissible distance from where we can cross in front of a Musali, a person who is praying? How much distance?
Give me just a second with that one. I understand the question.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
So the distance, scholars have disagreed on the distance. Some prohibit crossing in front of the Musali altogether beyond a certain distance. So what is the distance? The distance is the space he uses for making prostration. So the space between his feet, where he stands, and where his head would go when he prostrates on the floor. This is the distance it seems the question is asking about. Imam Malik, though, says, if you do not disrupt his prayer motions, you can cross in front of him in cases there is no other place for you to cross. But definitely, most people believe that the three other scholars, which is the majority, have it right, that it is disturbing to cross in front of a person who is praying, no matter where you cross, okay? So if you cross, make sure that the distance for prostration and bowing down is protected for the praying person. Okay, now, does ablution break by getting naked? The answer is no.
Ablution?
Ablution, A-B-U-L-U-T-I-O-N, which is washing before prayer. In Arabic, it's called wudu, W-U-D-O-U. Wudu, right. So the question is, does a person break or nullify his or her wudu by getting naked? The answer is no. Things that break one's wudu is urination, defecation, wind that comes out, ejaculation of semens or fluids, ejaculation, not masturbation. Okay, so fluids that come out of the person can and does break your wudu. Wind that comes out can break your wudu. Okay, to some scholars, if a person shakes the hand of a stranger from the opposite sex, they also say that breaks your wudu as well. But taking off your clothing does not break your wudu. And the question continues, does it get broken, the wudu, if I see someone else naked? No, it does not. But you should always make sure that you avoid seeing or looking at someone who is naked, even from the same sex. Even if it is your own sister, your own daughter, your own mother, unless she is your baby daughter, you're washing her, those circumstances are different. Islam values privacy very highly and requires us to protect each other's privacy. And that's why when we talked about raising kids and how to teach them about sex education, we went as far as saying, you do not get your daughter or son to shower with you, even though they are young. Why? Because you want them to respect your privacy and to learn to protect their own privacy as well.
Okay, we have a question.
Sure.
I want to clarify. With the husband and wudu, and I'm bathing naked, and we just happen to look at each other, is that considered as breaking it?
Well, if you're taking shower, that means you are under the shower. You can make your wudu right away. But looking at your husband itself does not break your wudu unless some fluids come out.
Okay, I understand.
Okay, the next question. Can I take a secret khula only?
Spell that and tell me what it is.
Okay. Khula is a one-sided divorce by the woman request.
Can you spell that now?
Khula. Okay. Can I do that secretly? No. The Quran requires that any type of divorce, and this is one type of divorce, has to be certified by two people. You have to have two witnesses. As in marriage, you are required in divorce to have two witnesses. So divorce of any type cannot be done privately. Even if the husband is the one who is divorcing his wife, he can divorce. At the time of divorce, he can do it without witnesses but he must bring two witnesses to inform them and get them to witness that he has divorced his wife. Meaning, I will explain.
Okay. Okay, can we do a more detailed explanation about this
Yes,
rule,
yes,
please?
I wanted to do that. Okay.
Thank you.
If the wife and the husband agree to divorce, they must have witnesses. And they better have it at the time of divorce. If the wife has authority in her marriage contract to unilaterally divorce her husband, then she can divorce him, but she must call two witnesses at least after she has divorced. So let us say they had a fight last night, and she has the authority in the contract that I can divorce you when I want, and you can divorce me when you want. And she divorced him using that authority. Then it is 11 o'clock midnight. Then the next day or a day after, they both must bring witnesses, and she needs to divorce him in front of the witnesses. The same happens since the man has an automatic authority from Allah to divorce. If he divorces, then he must bring two witnesses either during the act of divorce, the statement of the divorce, the pronouncement of divorce, or he needs to do that right after in a day or so. So as the marriage is done with witnesses and public attending, divorce needs to be witnessed and to be known to other people. I hope this is clear.
Yes.
Okay.
I have a question.
I have a list of questions. Do you want to take?
Okay, this is divorce still.
Okay.
Do I have to bring this? I have to sign at the same time. Okay, so question. Do you have to bring the same two people that were at the wedding ceremony to the divorce ceremony? Do they have to be the same two that
No,
come?
no.
Okay, great. Thank you.
That would have been a very high bar to climb. It would have made it very difficult.
True. Okay, especially if they had passed away already.
Not only if they passed away, but if you marry in California and you divorce in Alabama, do you want two people to travel from California to Alabama? Or from Pakistan to the USA? That's not practical. So any two witnesses that are decent and respected, and they can keep what is happening as protecting your privacy and so on and so forth, then they are fit for being witnesses. Okay.
Okay.
Is it okay for couples to show their love and life on social media? You mean to express that they love each other on media outlets, social media? Well, I believe this would be somewhat reckless, in my humble opinion. Okay, this is not something that gets out of the realm of privacy. Why should someone who was with his wife last night tell her in the morning on Facebook, "Do you know what? I still love you"? He doesn't need to do that to the public. If he really loves her, he knows how to let her know in private and to be respectful. And she doesn't need to display her love on Facebook or Twitter or any social media. And I know that the question carries much more than that behind it, but I'm thinking that it suffices to say what we said, that social media is for social public stuff, not for personal stuff. And let me tell you something, because people celebrate birthdays on Facebook, people celebrate their marriage on Facebook, and they display their most private pictures on Facebook. This is like inviting all the world into your own private home. So one has to be careful and choosy. What do you want by publicizing and publishing those sentiments or feelings or pictures? What do you want to achieve? You want to tell people that you are a good wife or a good husband? Well, actually being good, it will show by your wife's appreciation, by your marriage being stable, by your children being raised under Islamic law, loving their deen, respecting their identity. This is how it should be, but it shouldn't be on display for the public. And I want to just give you a hint why my position is like that. And I'm not alone, by the way, in that position. I know many Muslim scholars that I'm working with on daily basis, that this is the majority of Muslim scholars, okay? They believe that privacy has to control, and respect of one's privacy has to be considered before I go on the public social media outlets, okay? So at the same time, I want to tell you this. When I used to have Facebook, and that was years ago, before I canceled it, I used to see some of our own Muslim friends, okay? Like a sister that I know, she has, excuse me, I'm sorry. Excuse me. I'm sorry again.
No problem.
So I used to see on Facebook one of the sisters that has a lot of problems with her husband. And she would put pictures on the internet, on Facebook, with her sitting with candles lit by herself, putting full makeup, and getting one of her kids to picture her and put it on display. There's no need for that. There's no need for that. We know that you do not put full makeup and go out in public. So putting picture like this is not good. It actually demeans the person who is doing this, because she would be putting herself on display for people to look at her, as if she is saying, "Look how beautiful I am." This is not good. This is not good. Or another person, a brother, who would put all of his problems on the internet, thinking that the internet has only stupid and dumb people. So he would speak about a wife that does this, a wife that does this, a wife that does this. And he would expect people not to implicate his wife. This is wrong. This is wrong, and it is actually stupid. Sorry, but, or the opposite. When a woman complains that all men doing this, all men doing that, that also. So we need to use the social media to contact people whose physical contact is far away from us. Like you have a cousin in California that you want to contact with her, and it's been a long time. You want to send her a message, that's okay, but send it privately if you can. So Facebook gives you a private chat room and a public chat room. Don't use the public for the private and the private for the public, because you are exposing yourself. Okay? I think enough said about this. Okay, the next question is it true that when one sends blessings upon Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, an angel tells the Prophet, okay, such a person is giving blessing or sending blessings unto you? So, summary of the question is, if a person makes a prayer blessing the Prophet, peace be upon him, saying, "Oh Allah, bless your Prophet Muhammad," okay? Does an angel take this prayer and communicate it to the Prophet, peace be upon him? The answer is yes. Yes, an angel communicates this to the Prophet in his grave, okay? Is the Prophet alive in his grave? The answer is no. The Prophet is dead. Then the follow-up question would be, how come that an angel would speak to him if he is dead? Well, this is part of the knowledge of the unknown and unseen world. It does not run according to our life, tangible rules and expectations. It runs with different rules. Okay? So Allah enables the angel to talk to him and enables the Prophet ﷺ to receive the blessings conveyed to him by the angel. Okay? The next question is, how to balance between dunya, livelihood in this life, and the latter life. How to balance between living this life, enjoying everything, doing everything like everybody else, at the same time paying attention to the hereafter and trying to achieve what you want to achieve in the hereafter, which is to go to paradise. Well, the formula is very simple. The formula is given to us in the Quran, okay? Let me get you the exact verse so that you can review it. Okay. It is Surah number 28, verse number 77. 28:77, and it says, take provision from whatever actions and good things that you do in this life for your hereafter. that definitely means do as much good deeds in this life and keep it for your credit in the hereafter. But do not forget your share in this life's provision. This is the balance we all need to watch for. So, for example, I have to pray Fajr and I have to run to my work. Where is my priority? My priority is Allah, right? But I am late and my boss will not be happy if I'm late. Well, Allah also will not be happy if you put him on hold until your boss is happy. So it depends now, which one do you value more, your God or your boss? How do I balance between the two? Wake up a little bit earlier to catch up with the dawn prayer on time and to have time to go to your work on time. Now, you don't have to sacrifice one for the other, okay? I have to run to catch up with my kids who are coming from school and I am leaving my work. If I leave immediately after my work is finished, I am sure to miss the mid-afternoon prayer. But I have to catch up with my children. Well, take a few minutes, pray your mid-afternoon prayer before you leave work, and then leave to catch up with your children. Because the right of Allah has to be given priority. And let us see how practical Islam is. I am praying and I am in the middle of my prayer and my son is creeping on the floor and he is reaching to a hot pot on his way. What should I do? I should leave my prayer and save my kid. So there are times when you have to make a judgment call, and Islam helps us make those judgment calls. We have to be sure that we understand that we work so that we can live, but we do not live for work only. Our life is a gift from Allah. Allah told us what He expects us to be doing. We have to submit to Allah and do what He expects before we establish other priorities. So the balance is plan your life well, deal with emergency as needed, give Allah the ultimate priority, organize your time so that you don't squeeze Allah and your responsibility towards Him out of your life. I hope this answers this question. The balance between this life and the hereafter. Okay. Can we say Ameen to our own dua? To our own prayer? Can we say Amen to our own prayer and supplication? Yes, you can. We do that in reciting Al-Fatiha, the first surah in the Quran, A-L-F-A-T-E-H-A. The one we read in every prayer, the first surah in the Quran, the opening of the Quran. When we finish, we say Amen. And when we make any other supplication, we can say Amen. I read that some people, that's the next question. I read that some people will cross the bridge like lightning. Who are those people? The question is asking about a very thin bridge on which is called the straight path. The straight path on the hereafter is likened to a bridge. Some people will pass at different speeds. Some will pass very quickly. Some will pass like a rocket. Some will pass like a thunder speed, like a lightning, okay? And those people are people that Allah doesn't want to expose to even the scenes of hellfire, because that bridge is set over hellfire. And may Allah save us all and help us cross as fast as we can on that day over that bridge. Because people who will be walking slow or will be creeping on their tummy, they will be in torment because they are doing this on top of hellfire. It will be below them, right there. And some people will be snatched from the top of the bridge into hellfire because of their disbelief or their denial of Allah or their disobedience or their hurting other people badly. I hope that the answer clears the question. Can a Muslim man marry a Christian or Jewish woman? The answer is yes, he can. But there has to be certain conditions. Number one, she needs to be observing the rules of her own religion, because the ethical rules in Judaism, Christianity, and Islam are the same. Like, do not kill, do not lie, do not deceive, do not commit adultery, be fair, be just, be merciful. All of these values are the same. So if she is respectful and following the rules of her faith, then she is likely to observe the same inside the marriage, with herself, with her husband, with her children, and with her in-laws. That's rule number one. Rule number two, she cannot be an adulteress, someone who seeks men for adulterous relationship, because this would be unchaste behavior, and it is unacceptable for a Muslim marriage to have one of the two parties as adulterer, whether the man or the woman. Number three, she must believe in her faith. In other words, there are lots of people who grew up in Christian or Jewish household, but they say, I was raised as a Christian, but now I am an atheist or agnostic. I don't believe in God. If this is what she does, then she cannot fit as a Jewish wife or a Christian wife. The fourth rule or the fourth condition is a condition that some scholars have set, but some others did not set this as a condition, which is that this marriage is only good if it is within a Muslim society, meaning majority Muslim society. Why? Because number one, mostly the family rules in the court will be according to Islamic law. And because Islamic marriage is based on the Quran and the traditions of the Prophet, if this marriage, the mixed religious marriage, is done, it is done on the same foundation, the Quran and the traditions of the Prophet. But those foundations cannot be supported or protected in a non-Muslim society. So those scholars say only in a Muslim society you could do this marriage because the court system and the society supports this type of marriage and does not infringe on the rights of children as Muslims or the rights of the husband as a Muslim. So this is the list of conditions set forth for this marriage to be Islamically approved. Any question about this?
Nope,
Okay.
I think we're good.
Okay. The following question is, my husband compares me to everyone, even his mother, and puts me down. Of course, this is not a good attitude. It is not a show of respect. And this is not acceptable in Islam. But I believe there must be deeper issues that make him take a negative attitude towards you as a wife. And he is trying to show you what he doesn't like by pointing to others who are, in his view, doing what he likes. So you could deal with this in one of two ways. Either that you become angry at him, or that you try to take the hint that he wants you to do what he likes about his mother or sister or other wives that he knows. Okay? So if you take the first attitude or response, which is to be frustrated and angry, you will not benefit and he's not going to benefit. But if you take it as a clear, open heart expression of what he could have hidden in his heart, right? So he is telling you, even though it is inappropriate way, an inappropriate manner, and it is not acceptable Islamically, but he is letting you know that I don't like the way you cook this kind of food. Or I would rather that you do it the same way my mom used to do. Or I would rather that you deal with me the way my friend's wife deals with him. This is what she does. So take the message, the substance of the message, and disregard the way the message is delivered, even the words of the message, and focus on the message. If you think that the message could help you do something different or better, do it. If you think it is not fair, tell him, by the way, I did that before, and you still compared me to someone else and said, this is what I need to do. Okay? So the only way I suggest is deal with his message rationally and wisely. Do not let your anger take control over how you deal with it, even though it is unacceptable. Okay? What else here? When praying, what is the best thing to do when you forget which unit of the prayer you are in? Should you just decide the unit number and continue to do, or do you have to start all over again? The unit of prayer in Arabic is called rak'ah, R-A-K-A-A. So some prayers have 2 units, like Fajr, Zuhr, Asr, and Isha. They have 4 rak'ah. This is noon prayer, mid-afternoon prayer, and night prayer. Those come in 4 rak'ah. The sunset prayer comes in 3 rak'ah. So one has to be focused inside the prayer so that you don't confuse which rak'ah you are in right now. And people could use different ways. One of the ways I suggest is to constantly read, after you read the opening of the Quran in the first rak'ah and the second rak'ah, I suggest that you read a short surah that can help you remember that this is the first rak'ah. Or that when you make bowing, when you bow down in prayer, you count and say to yourself, this is my first rak'ah. Then when you bow down in the second, you say to yourself, this is the second rak'ah. Make sure that you do that. And then in the third rak'ah, you make sure that you tell yourself, this is the third rak'ah. And the fourth rak'ah, when you bow down, you say, this is the fourth. And I found this to be working well, especially with elderly people and women who have too many children to focus on even herself. Okay? So I hope that this will help you focus. So what if I get confused though? Am I in the third rak'ah or in the fourth rak'ah? Scholars in this situation have agreed that you assume it is the third rak'ah, and you pray one more, and then you do 2 make-up prostrations. You know, when you make 2 prostrations at the end, before you make taslim, before you finish the prayer, saying peace unto you, peace be unto you, before you do this, to your right and to your left, you make 2 prostrations. And this will make up for the confusion part. But you don't have to repeat the entire prayer altogether. I know I might have missed somebody. So if you have a question on this issue, please raise your hand or tell us. Okay.
Yes. So missing the raka, and at the end I do the prostration.
Yes.
And I do to the right and to the left.
Yes.
I should tell myself, please excuse me for doing the raka wrong.
Let us go from the beginning of this question. The question says, if I miss a rak'ah, if you are certain that you missed a rak'ah, then you know where you are. If you are still inside the prayer, then complete the rak'ah that is missing. So now you are in control. The question that I was answering was saying, if I am confused, what do I do? That was the question. But if I am certain that I have missed a rak'ah, then I just make it up. And if I remember that I missed a rak'ah after I have finished the prayer, then one of 2 things you have to look at. If you are still in your prayer place, then you come up, say Allahu Akbar, Allah is great, and you make the left or missed rak'ah, and then you do the prostration again at the end. But you don't have to say, I am sorry I missed.
Is that called sahu? S-A-G, sagu, S-A-G-O-O, say G?
Sujood in Arabic is prostration, Chip.
No, S-A-H-O-O.
Yeah, sujood sahu. Yes, in Arabic.
Can you spell the first word for me? Because
Sujood, S-O-U-J-O-U-D. And in English, it means prostration of forgetfulness.
yes, that one.
Yes.
Forgot and confused, yes? Or is it the word inside of the Arabic, does it mean in English that you forgot and are confused? Or is it just that I forgot or that I was confused?
Well, the question was asking about if I am confused, if I don't know which unit of prayer I am in.
Yes, but with a new question, sorry.
Huh?
It was a new question.
Well, the question you just posed is, what constitutes a prostration or two prostrations of forgetfulness? Is it when I am confused or when I am missing a rak'ah? If you say I have missed a rak'ah, it tells me that you are sure you have missed a rak'ah. In this case, if you are still in prayer and you discovered, which means you are sure that you have missed a rak'ah, make it up right away. Make up the one rak'ah that you missed and complete your prayer, okay? And there is no requirement of sujood of forgetfulness or prostration of forgetfulness. Okay?
Okay, great, thank you.
Sure. Any other question on this issue?
Nope, good.
Okay. Next question. When you are having a bad day due to menstruation and or other stresses, and it is hard to do housework, what is the best dua to help you get through the day and make it easy without impacting the housework, bad cooking, or waste of food, and taking care of children? The best dua is one that you can remember and one that you can say in your own way. So in this case, ask Allah for all you want.
Can you spell that that Arabic word that you used? Dua?
Dua, I'm sorry, supplication. So the best supplication.
D-O...
Supplication.
Yes, but do it in Arabic for me. I'm asked. Somebody's
Okay.
asking for the Arabic.
No, it's okay. D-O-U-A-A. Yes.
Okay.
So the best supplication, the best dua to do is to use the one you remember the best that touches on what you need. For example, if you want to do anything, ask Allah for help to help you do it. Okay? Oh Allah, help me to take care of my kids. Oh Allah, give me patience for this task to finish. Oh Allah, make it easy for me to go through the day. Oh Allah, listen for me the pain and the disturbance of my hormones. Ask Allah for anything you want, and Allah would listen to you, and God willing, He will answer your prayer.
Question.
Yes.
During you bow down, dua, okay, all right. So during the dua,
Yes.
do I prostrate and then do the dua? Or is it just okay to find that prayer, that asking for Allah without prostrating?
No, since you have ministration, then you cannot be praying, okay? And you don't have to make prostration for your dua to be acceptable. Just make your dua with sincere heart and devoted spirit, and Allah would listen to you, inshallah, and will answer your prayer.
So that question was my question, Anissa says, and I wanted the clarity on it.
Okay.
During menstruation, depression, you have women issues, don't feel like actually working because of your just weak and tired. You don't feel like cooking. Because of your condition.
Yes.
And you can't really finish anything. How does that work to help resolve okay, for example, just I experience depression or whatever, and I can't really do things. The kids are on me and whatever. I just don't feel like doing something. I have no. How can I deal with it? So I get up and I go about my day, but I'm in a bad mood during cooking, and that cooking doesn't taste right because my mood affects whatever I'm doing, and then it'll affect the kids, and I don't want the kids' time to be ruined. So how can I focus better to avoid the stressors, to be able to cook with love and be able to do what needs to be done, so it doesn't affect other people, because it does.
Okay. Well, number one, do not look at daily responsibilities as a chore you want to get rid of. Because if you see it as a chore in normal days, this will make it even difficult when you have this down low spirit time. So if you enjoy doing what you do to serve your family in normal times, at least when you are down, you will not have that much difficulty because actually you enjoy it. You love to cook for them what they like of food, right? And you get the habit of doing it with joy. rather than doing it as a duty and a chore that you want to get rid of. Okay? So you need to get that spirit of optimism, goodwill, joy for achieving what you want to do, the joy for making something pleasing for your children or your husband for that matter. So in case that you don't feel or you do feel very bad in a day or so, I believe you should, if you are suffering from depression, you need to talk to your doctor. Maybe he can adjust the dose that you may want to take the night before or early in the day so that you get more help with the medication to still have more focus and more control. One other idea to consider is divide the type of food and meals that you prepare for your family into things that are kind of like take a lot of effort and time and need concentration and focus, and things that are easy. They like both, right? So make a list of these and a list of those. When you're happy, do the ones that take time and need concentration and focus. When you don't have energy or your energy is low, do the quick, fast ones that they like also. Then you don't get to stress yourself by doing the opposite or being puzzled or confused. What can I do? You know what? I don't want to do anything. Don't talk to yourself a lot. When you talk to yourself, look at the lists and say, which one is easier? Which one I have the ingredients to do? And then look for the simplest one that they enjoy and do it. This will make this task easy. One more advice. Do not over-mother your children, meaning do not be a double mother. What is an over-motherly mother, or what is a double mother? It is a mother who stresses herself if she doesn't do 100% of everything the kids may need or want. For example, a mother that does for her children what they can do for themselves. When she has a good day, it's okay to do that. But it is never okay to let the kids rely on you to do stuff that they should be doing. Let us talk about kids who could make their bed, right? And your husband comes home and he says the beds are not made. And you say, I am sorry, I was cooking, I was running after this young baby and this, and no, tell him, these are your kids. They did not do today what they are supposed to do, and I want you to help me talk to them. Instead of you stressing yourself to death because you want to do everything for the kids that they refuse to do while they can. The American cliche says, if you want to raise a handicapped child, do for the child what he can do for himself. So you need to lessen your load by having everybody doing part of their responsibility, if not all of their responsibility. Also, make an agreement with your husband. For example, if you are taking care of certain things for him, and if your menstruation comes heavy and your hormones run wild, and it affects you negatively and badly, make an agreement with him that in the next few days, I am not going to be able to iron your shirts or fold your laundry or make your bed. So help me out by lessening my load. Enough is what I have to do on behalf of the children. You are the partner adult in the home. I'm asking you to lessen my load. So don't throw your stuff all over the home and I'm running to collect your laundry. Be frank and be open, but also, of course, be respectful and do not overuse your husband's generosity if he is or if he happens to be generous. I hope that these ideas would help. Time is over. Okay.
Yes,
Then
yes, time is over.
we
Inshallah, we'll have next week.
will stop here. Keep collecting questions, Sister Aisha, too, please. And make the list one list for me. I stopped at question number 20. I finished question number 20. So from 21 till the end of the list, add it up to the new list for me so that I look at one and the same page, if you will. And thank you very much, everybody, for attending. I hope that this is of benefit for everyone.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much.
May Allah bless you all. May Allah support everything that you want or need in this life. May Allah give you happiness in your marriage and much more happiness in your faith. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.